We've been on a journey. We've been on a journey for a couple of months now, looking at life purpose discovery. And so today what we're going to do is, let me just summarize a few things, and then we're going to do the Holland career assessment. So yesterday we finished talking about calling, and we looked at how to get revelation, all the different ways that God guides us, leads us, reveals His will. Some of them may seem very supernatural if it's a dream, a prophetic word, a vision. Some of them may seem kind of ordinary in terms of just what's on your heart and circumstances guiding you. We looked at your life message, and that really being a message that's not just what you say, but it's embodied in your life, who God is leading you to really impact, and then what you're going to be doing in that, and how to create a life purpose statement. So that was the last circle that we've looked at. We started with allegiance, going around the whole thing of who do we belong to, who's am I? Then we looked at design, who am I? Then we looked at passion, what do you desire? What gives you energy? What do you dream about? What are your values? Then we looked at preparation, what has my life prepared me for? And then calling, where am I called to? And we said that you can see that these circles all overlap right here. So what we learn here, what we gather, the clues that we get here, the puzzle pieces that we get in each section, then we can begin to put them together. We have said that God encourages us at every point in our life, when we can see clearly, when we can't see clearly, when we know where we're going, when we wonder where in the world we are. God remains the same, and He says that He has plans for you. Plans to bless you. That's what welfare is, to bless you. They're good plans. They're not to cause you problems. They're not to destroy your life. That's the plans of the devil. God's plans are to give you a future and a hope. So I hope you have really memorized Jeremiah 29:11. So we said that in that center part of the circle, or you can think about it as putting together a jigsaw puzzle, that you may still be missing some pieces. But even though those pieces are missing, we can still see this cheetah. We still know it's a cheetah. You still may be missing a few pieces, but you're going to be able, the more pieces you have, the better you're going to be able to see really what the picture of your life is. So today what we're doing is, it's also going to help pull some pieces together. So I'm going to give you this handout, and these are some sheets that we had one of Les's friends come and talk to the kids last year and help us with this. And so this is the career plan. Now, a lot of it I'm going to go over with you when we meet one-on-one next week. So this first page, I'm gonna help walk you through that. So you don't need to fill. All you need to do is put your name on it, but you don't need to do anything else. So what we're going to do today is the second page, the second and third page, where this is going to ask you questions. Do you remember when you did like the MBTI or the MTIC, and it asked you, do you like this or this? What do you like to do? How do you feel? It was the same way on the spiritual gifts assessment. It asked you, how did you feel when you did this? How do you feel when you do that? So, what we're going to do is I'm gonna read these to you so that we can do them together on this second page. And you fill in how you feel about each of these. Okay. Now, do you see the little boxes there? You see there's little boxes here? Okay. If you enjoy and like what I just read, then just put a little check mark in the little box there next to it, okay? So on this first one it says, I enjoy and like doing puzzles, filling crosswords, or solving complex problems. If you like doing it, if you like these brain teasers, the things that are really a challenge, then you can just put a little tick right in that box, okay? Okay, are you ready to go? Okay, do number one. I enjoy and like doing puzzles, filling crosswords, or solving complex problems. If you like that, then check that little box there that's under the eye on this one. They're going to be in different places as we go through each one, and you'll understand why later. Okay, number two. I enjoy working on cars, fix and mending broken things. So, girls, it may not be working on a car, but you like fixing and mending broken things or equipment. You like doing those kind of things, so you can check the box there that's under the R. Number three, I enjoy and like singing, playing a musical instrument, acting in a play, or doing art. Now, on a question like that, you may not like art, but you like singing. You may not like singing, but you like playing the musical instrument. If you like any of those, then you can check that box that's under A. Number four, I enjoy and like working in teams and in groups to do some work. Let me say this, I'm doing it out loud with you because if you don't understand a question, or you don't understand a word, or you're like, well, I like that part, but I don't like this part, you can ask, okay? Okay. Number five, I enjoy and like organizing things, filing, planning activities, or setting things in order. And again, don't mark anything that's not true of you. We're trying to get an accurate idea of who you are. This is another way of finding out what you're good at, what you like, what you enjoy, how your brain thinks. So don't mark something you don't like, okay? That will just mess things up. Okay, number six. I enjoy and like setting goals and targets for myself and achieving them. Number seven. I enjoy and like building things and constructing big machines, roads in the future, things like that. Number eight, I enjoy and like reading fiction. Those are made up stories. Poetry or plays, magazines or novels. Number nine, I enjoy or like having order and clear instructions to follow about tasks. So if you like having clear orders. Number 10, I enjoy and like influencing and organizing people to do something. You like influencing and organizing other people to do something. 11, I enjoy and like doing experiments and finding out how things work. You might have liked science in high school. Okay, number 12, I enjoy and like teaching, counseling, informing, or training people. 13, I enjoy and like helping people feel better or solving their problems. 14, I enjoy taking care of animals, farming, and food production. 15, I enjoy and like having my day structured and set with scheduled tasks. 16, I enjoy and like persuading, marketing, and selling products to people. 17, I enjoy and like doing creative writing, singing, drawing, painting, or dancing. 18, I enjoy or like working projects on scientific problems or finding solutions. 19, I enjoy and like taking on new responsibilities in leadership or management. 20, I enjoy and like healing and taking care of needy, suffering people. 21, I enjoy and like discovering and figuring out why and how things work. 22, I enjoy and like putting things together or constructing things, building things, making something. 23, I enjoy and like being creative, imaginative, and expressing my ideas. 24, I enjoy and like being keen to details and carefully following instructions. 25, I enjoy doing filing or typing, managing and keeping of records. 26, I enjoy and like learning about people's cultures, traditions, and religions. 27, I enjoy and like analyzing things like problems, situations, or trends. 28, I enjoy and like dancing, composing songs, designing, drawing. 29, I enjoy and like dreaming about managing my own business or enterprise. Number 30, I enjoy and like piloting, engineering, driving a bulldozer or a ship. 31. I enjoy and like acting in plays, fashion shows, cookery, art, and design. 32. I enjoy and like considering things carefully before making decisions. 33. I enjoy and like working with numbers or figures, sequences, patterns. 34. I enjoy and like discussing about politics, government, or current events. 35. I enjoy and like keeping work records, writing reports of meetings and conferences. 36. I enjoy and like influencing people and being the leader in doing tasks. 37. I enjoy and like working outdoors with big machines and instruments. 38. I enjoy working inside an office or work follow orders or procedures. 39. I enjoy and like working and solving on life-challenging problems. 40. I enjoy and like helping and reaching out to orphans, the sick, the poor, or needy. 41. I enjoy and like pastry, making cloth designs, hair designs, tapestry, coloring. And the last one, number 42, I enjoy and like giving speeches, debating, arguing out issues like in law. Okay, now here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the boxes. So for instance, you're going to look at R and you're going to total. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 little boxes there in R. How many of them did you check? So add up the number of R's and put it down here. Add up the number of I's and A, S, E, C. So just total your columns there. Okay, have you got your numbers all added up? Okay, on the next page, you're just going to kind of summarize that. You can put, you can just kind of, you're going to make your own boxes, make it nice and big. Don't write little bitty ones because you got the whole page. But you can put the same letters. You can make squares and put R, I, A, S, E, C, and then put your totals. So that on this page you have the letter and the total. So make your boxes. You understand? No. Okay. So we're just going to make some boxes here. Let's see, how many of those were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you can put R, I, so just copy R, I, A. You can just copy those letters and then make boxes underneath and put your scores in. I don't know why they didn't make the boxes for you, but they didn't. So transfer your scores into these two. You gotta know your scores by now. But now this is telling you really what those letters stand for. Okay? So the R stands for realistic. You're a realistic person. So what was your score on being realistic? The I stood for investigative. So what was your total of all the questions that added up to I? You could probably see that the A's were the artistic people, the creative people. So what was your score on that? And then S stood for social. You can put your total. E is for enterprising. And C is for conventional. Okay, so I'm going to be going over this with you then when I meet with you one-on-one next week. Okay? So don't worry about filling in anything else, but I needed you to have this paper and have it filled in before I met with you. Okay? So you've got it. And again, some of these you may go, well, I don't know, do I really? And you know what, even between now and when I meet with you, if you decide, you know what, I really don't like that, that's not me, then you can change your scores, okay? You can change your answers. So you may want to think about this and reread the questions and kind of see, does this match? Does this match what I like to do? Especially if you have a score. If you have a score and you're going, I don't think I'm artistic, then look at those questions again. And you may want to adjust your scores. Okay?
Conventional mean. Conventional. What does it mean?
Well, let's look at the questions for conventional. If you go back here and you look at C and you look down the column, then everywhere there's a box for C, you can reread that question. So Jessica, I don't really like the word conventional either. If you think of personality, it has a lot to do with the J. If you're conventional, you like order, you like to make a plan, you like to make a schedule, you like to follow a schedule. A P, a person who's a P, is not very conventional. You like to, I'll see, I may do this first, I may do that first. I don't like being structured. I don't like my whole day just being do this, do that, do this, do that. So I think they're using the word conventional because of how you like to organize things. However, some of these questions also have to do with like working inside an office. If you like working on a computer, you're probably going to score high in C. So reread some of those questions because it may be. So if you have a question about any of your scores, just go back and find where those boxes are and reread the questions. Okay? Any questions on that? This is really a very simple test. Well, it's not really a test. A test implies that there's right or wrong answers. There's no right or wrong answers. but this is about you and what you like, and they use it for career planning. Because, for instance,
Mine came out, I'm not realistic.
okay, well, we'll talk about it. It's okay to not be realistic, Jessica. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answers on this, okay? There's no right or wrong answers. You know, I don't know if I told you guys the story of, at one point when we lived in Kansas City, I needed to go out and get a job. And I had never worked a regular job outside the home. I had been a wife. I had been a mother working at home. I had worked a lot in the church. But in terms of going out and getting a job, the only thing I had done was teach school. So, but in terms of just trying to find a job, I have never done it. And we really needed the money. So, hey, I was willing to do anything. I remember I looked at jobs in a bank. I looked at jobs doing finances. I looked at jobs doing sales. And you see, I had never done an assessment like you just did. So I didn't know I was supposed to think about what I liked. You know, some of the jobs that I thought about getting were like in a bank, or I remember there was a pawn shop that needed a financial person. Guys, I hate numbers. I mean, if I had taken one of those jobs, oh my gosh. Number one, I probably wouldn't have lasted long. I probably would have gotten fired. But I don't like working with numbers. And I don't like sitting at a desk or a computer. So I would have hated those jobs. But you see, I had not taken this kind of assessment. I like to be on my feet. You guys know. I like to work. I like to go here and there. And so I ended up working in a couple of clothing stores. And then I became a manager at a Restoration Hardware, which sells furniture and all kinds of home decor and that kind of thing. That's what I like to do. I like to talk to people. And making it look nice, making the store look nice, and folding the clothes and being able to move around. But sitting at a desk, oh my gosh, for a while they have jobs they call, it's kind of casual labor. You can sign up and they will just call you and they'll say, okay, go to this place today, somebody's sick. Go to this place tomorrow because this person left. And so they're just sending you somewhere different every day. And most of it was like being a receptionist or doing filing or doing computer work. I hated that because it's like every day I was sent to a different office. They had different kinds of phones, different kinds of copying machines, different kinds of computers, working with different people I didn't know. It was like every day was a new day to fail. Not to succeed, to fail. It's like, oh goody, I get to go to another new place and be a complete idiot again today. I hated those jobs because that wasn't me. I don't want you guys to go through that. You see, when you're going to a job you love, it's exciting. It's great. But when you're going to a job you just feel like, what am I going to do wrong today? It's miserable. Miserable. So it's important to know what you're good at. That's what we've been talking about, your strengths. your skills. Now we're talking even about just what do you like? This is what I'm going to be talking to you about this next week. Do you like to work in an office? Do you want to work outside? Maybe you don't want to work inside an office, but you do want to be inside. So maybe you're in a factory, maybe you're inside working on houses. Maybe you'd like working inside a house doing painting, but you don't want to work outside doing farming. You need to know, what do you like? Do you like sitting at a desk all day? Do you like working on computers? If you're working on a computer, do you like the filing, the categorizing, the sorting, the organizing? Or do you want to solve problems on the computer? Are you wanting to be a computer analyst? Are you wanting to be a troubleshooter who finds what's wrong with the computer and why it's not working? You see, there's a lot of different areas. It was asking you about your creativity, but you can be creative with art. You can be creative with music. You can be creative with sewing. There's lots of different ways of being creative. But if you're a creative person, you are not going to want to be sitting at a desk in an office. Okay? So again, think some more. You reread these. Think about, what do you enjoy? Picture, this is something we do in coaching. I want you to picture your ideal job. This is one of the things I'm going to ask you when I meet with you next week. Picture your ideal job. What are you doing? What time do you go to work? What do you do all day at work? What are your responsibilities at work? What does that look like? This is talking about careers. We've been talking about your whole life in life purpose discovery. Now we are talking about a job, okay, a career. What would you like if you could have any job? If you could pick any job in the world, what would you like to do? What would it look like? So think about that, because that, again, those are some more clues. These are some more clues about how you're wired. What you're good at, what you're not good at. What you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. These are all important clues. Let me go back to these definitions of words. Let me see if I can clarify anything. Realistic. Let's look at the word realistic. I don't like that word either. I don't know who designed this. But this is for career planning. Realistic, if you look at all the questions, look at realistic. It's questions 2, 7, 14, 22, 30, 32, 36. Those of you who are on the video, if you didn't know how to score this, then the R, you can add up your scores for number 2, 7, 14, 22, 30, 32, and 37. And if you checked any of those as things you like, then those can be totaled for your R score. And the word they're using for R is realistic. But if you read each of those, they're really talking about working with physical objects, Jessica. It doesn't mean you're not realistic about life. It means you like to work with your hands. You like to build a table. You want to work in the yard. You want to actually create physical objects. Think about what I'm doing right now. I'm teaching you ideas. I'm talking to you about your life. Now, is it realistic? Well, it's realistic because it's about life. But in the way they're using the word realistic, then what I'm doing is not realistic because it's about ideas. It's words. It's teaching. It's not going out and working in the garden. You see what I mean? Okay, let's look at I. They're defining I as investigative. Now, I think that one makes a little more sense. So if you look at question 1, 11, 18, 21, 27, 33, and 39, all of those questions are showing that you're curious. You want to solve problems. You want to understand how something works. Maybe you want to fix plumbing. Maybe you want to fix electrical. Maybe you want to fix computer problems. But there's some kind of challenges, mental puzzles that you want to understand and figure out. So then you're investigating, okay? Look at A. All the questions. A stands for artistic. And those were questions 3, 8, 17, 23, 28, 31, and 41. All of those questions, if you had any of those boxes marked, those were questions about art, being artistic. Artistic in colors, in drawing, in singing, in dancing, cooking, any kind of expressive art. Those were the questions. S stood for social. So on questions 4, 12, 13, 20, 26, 34, or 40, those were questions about working with other people. Working in teams with people, training people, counseling people, helping people who were suffering, maybe physically, they needed healing, learning about people's cultures and traditions and religions, thinking and talking about politics, government, current events, helping the needy. Those are all questions about social, your social interaction with other people. So that's the kind of work that some people want to do. Maybe you, maybe not you. E stood for enterprising. So the questions about enterprising were 6, 10, 16, 19, 29, 36, and 42. So those were about, if you're enterprising, that was about setting goals and targets for yourself. influencing and organizing other people, doing marketing and selling stuff, being a leader, doing management, having your own business, influencing and leading people, giving speeches and debates and arguing. So all of that, if you're enterprising, you're gonna like that kind of thing. You know, a lot of people try to start their own business. But you know what? Working in a business and owning your own business are two completely separate things. So that's a whole nother topic in it and of itself. There's a great book called The E-Myth. Because a lot of people, let's say Mercy Jack, let's say she loves to sew. You know, she likes the sewing, she likes buying the materials, she likes making things. But she may not be good at selling them. She may not be good at owning her own business and keeping the finances and knowing how much everything cost and did she make any money or not? Now, you may be. But there's a big difference between working for someone else who owns a business and all you have to do is come and work and sew or cook or whatever the job is. Come and work on the computer. It's one thing for you to come and be a worker and do your work. Love your work. Be great at your work. But you may not be good at owning a business. So if you're enterprising, these are some of the skills you have. C, that was the conventional. And that was questions 5, 9, 15, 24, 25, 35, and 38. And if you look at those questions, those are the ones, I wouldn't so much say conventional, I would say maybe organizing, because it's about organizing things, planning, setting things in order, having clear orders and instructions about what you're supposed to do, having your day structured and organized, following a calendar, following a to-do list, caring about the details and carefully following instructions, doing filing, typing, managing, keeping records, writing reports of meetings and conferences, working inside an office, following orders and procedures. So that's the kind of work that they're calling conventional. So is that kind of, like I say, some of their words they picked are a little hard to understand, but when you go back and look at those questions for that number, I think it kind of helps explain what are they looking for. What are they looking for? Because in some jobs, if you're doing physical work, if you're building something, creating things, maybe you're a plumber, an electrician, you're working in agriculture, that's realistic. You're working with your hands. You're working with physical objects. Investigative, you're working with your mind. You guys know that Dr. Les and I are completely different. I like to work with my hands. Now, I do work with my mind in terms of teaching, but I like to do physical things. Dr. Les does not work with his hands, except on a computer. But if you ask him to come out with a hammer, or work in the garden, or fix the plumbing, oh my God, this one time he tried to fix the plumbing. He broke all of the plumbing, and we had to replace all of the pipes. And he can't work with his hands. He works with his brain. Again, certain careers, you've got to be artistic. We've talked about Jerry and Mercy Jo. They're both very artistic with cooking and baking. And you see it come out in some other areas. Mercy's also very organized. She keeps the kitchen very organized. She's very organized with her cookie cutters. She's organized with the food colors, the pans. Jerry's very artistic. It comes out not only in his cooking, but in poetry, in how he dresses. You see that artistic. The social, I'm very social. Did you know that? I'm very social. I like to be with people. I like to talk. I don't want to work by myself. Some people like to work by themselves. I don't want to work by myself. Enterprising, we've talked about. You're wanting to create a business, persuade other people, oversee other people, manage them. And then the conventional, you're wanting structure, organization. Okay? So again, be thinking about this. You know, you've been in school where it didn't really matter what you wanted. Nobody cared what you wanted. This is where you're going to sleep. This is what you're going to eat. This is what you're going to study. This is how you're going to study. This is how you're going to take the test. School is very structured. This class is from 8 to 9. This class is from 2 to 3. So your life was organized for you. But when you get out of Form 4, there's no teacher to tell you what to do. There's no headmaster saying, here's your schedule for the day. This is why we're going through this, because really now you're at the point of saying, okay, how do I learn? Do I learn by listening? Auditory? Do I listen and learn and I get ideas by listening to a teacher? If you don't, we may have wasted the last couple of minutes. But, you know what? Maybe you're visual. So although you may not remember a lot of what I said, maybe you remember the PowerPoints. If you're a visual learner, you're going to remember what was on the paper and you're going to remember the pictures and the things that were up here on the PowerPoints. If you learn by doing, of course you get almost no chance of doing that in school. A little bit if you're in agriculture or if you are able to take any kind of like sewing classes in school or anything like that. You got to use your hands a little bit. But usually in school, the only thing you do with your hands is write with a pencil. But some people, that's how they learn. We had a question about, do I like working on cars? You know, Rogers loves to work on cars. And that's how he learns. That's what he's good at, with his hands. He doesn't learn by listening. He doesn't learn by reading or looking at pictures. He learns by doing it. You know, hey, I'm the same way even when it comes to computers. You have to show me on the computer. Jessica probably can see this. You have to show me, and then I have to do it. If you just tell me, then when I sit down at the computer, I'm like, what was I supposed to do? I have to do it. That's how I learn. Now, Les, if he wants to learn something about a computer program, he gets a computer manual, a book, and he sits and reads it. If I read a computer manual, I wouldn't know any more when I finished it than before I started. That's not how I learn. It makes no sense to me. I've got to be doing it while I learn. So this is why when you're looking at a career, you've got to know yourself. How do you learn? Do you like to organize or not? Do you like structure or not? Do you like to work with something physical or not? Indoors or outdoors? A flexible schedule or a rigid schedule? I hate rigid schedules. Now, I've been very organized for a lot of years because I was in jobs and things that I had to be organized. And so I'm a pretty organized person. I think you guys probably think I'm pretty organized. I keep the house organized, I keep the schedule organized. But you know what? I don't really like being organized. I can do it. But you know what? When it's my day off, when it's my vacation, I don't want to be organized. I want to do whatever I want. I want to get up at whatever time I want. I want to go to bed whenever I feel like it. And even on our days off, Les will say, well, what do you want to do today? You know, let's make a list. I go, let's not make a list. Let's eat when we want to. We may want to go out and pray, or we may want to play a game first. We may want to take a nap, or we may not. Let's just do what we feel like. Are you getting the idea about thinking about who you are? You haven't had much of a chance to discover yourself. But that's one of the main things I want you to be able to do here at Nana's house, is discover what you like, what you don't like, who you are. Because God has made you special. If you haven't learned anything else out of Life Purpose Discover, I want you to remember that you're special. And you're not all the same. You learn differently. You have different strengths. You have different personalities. You're going to have different passions, caring about different things. God has a different calling on each of your lives. That's why we can't compare ourselves to each other. You have to be you. You have to do what God wants you to do. You have to find His will for your own life. Okay, let's pray. Lord, I just pray that, Lord, you would continue to show each one of us who we really are. Lord, we're all made in your image. But Lord, how you've made each of us physically, how you've designed us in our personality, the strengths we've been given, and even the weaknesses we've been given. The differences in the spiritual gifts that you give each one of us through the Holy Spirit, and where you place us in the body of Christ. The different passions that you put within our heart, the different dreams that you plant in us, the values that we have, what gives us energy, what excites us so that we want to do it. Lord, as we look throughout our whole life and look at where you've led us from tree to tree, the schools, the family, the people we've met, what we've learned, the skills we've gained, the suffering we've gone through, all these different things that make us who we are, that help form our character. Lord, help us to see those things and not miss them. And then, Lord, being able to follow you and hear from you, to see where you're leading, to get revelation from you, to know what you want to do with our life, what our life message is, how we're going to be able to impact other people's lives, not just live our own life, but make a difference in this world, make a difference for you, make a difference in your kingdom. Lord, what kind of jobs? Maybe, again, life is a journey. It may not just be one job, but different jobs. But how you're going to use us, what we're made to do, what we're going to love, what we're going to do well at, the kind of work that you've prepared for us to do that's going to help us make money, but also what's going to bless other people. So, Lord, just continue to open our eyes and our understanding. We just thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, I would like to just take like 1 minute each and have each one of you come up and just share. It could be just one thing, but when you think about life purpose discovery, what is like the key idea for you? Or how has it challenged you? How has it opened your understanding? So anything you want to share, anything at all that you want to share about what you've learned and how this is helping you now in going forward in your life. So who wants to be first? Okay, Mercy J. Okay, Mercy J, what would you say?
Okay, so far I have understood myself and I know that I'm able to work with my hands. To me, I don't love reading, writing, and all those. But to me, how I feel, I'm comfortable with my hands and making things, fixing. Yeah, and also maybe talking, let's say teaching, but not reading and writing all those.
Okay.
Yes.
So working with your hands.
Yes.
And I think we see that in your sewing and in the gardening.
Yeah.
And teaching, like you're talking about like Bible club with the kids. Yeah. Those are your strengths, aren't they?
Yes.
And you love those.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so the class has just clarified that. It's kind of helped gel those things for you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Very good.
Okay, that's all.
Who's next? Okay, Kevin, what would you say?
Okay, before I even started my life purpose discovery, I had that mind of what work I'll do to get money to provide for me and my family. Just a great job for earning for my living. But I had no that concept of what you love doing and what you enjoy. Yeah, but we used to follow the values of other people who had the same career. So I've learned that don't follow somebody else because you will end up to a wrong destiny. That's their destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That has given me a lot of challenges because I have now to sit down and rethink what I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just connect the pieces of the puzzles, and see and compare my values and the career that I can. Yeah.
Wow. Did you hear what he said about not living somebody else's life? Not just finding a job where you're going to make a lot of money. Because you know what, Kevin? When you find what you do love and what you're good at, that's where you will make money. If you're trying to do something you're not good at, you won't make money anyway. Right? You'll probably get sacked. Very good, very good. Well, we're going to help you as you're continuing to look at who you are and what you like and what you're good at. That's awesome. But wow, what a big lesson about not following somebody else's dream. Yeah.
As for me, I've learned about the the passions that I have, my calling in life, and also my dreams and what I should do to prepare myself. I've learned that in life, you should, most here in Kenya, you always thought you should take this career, it is good, but have learned in life purpose, you should do what your heart desire to do, not what others want you to do. And also, have learned that we should we should be good in what we should continue what you are good at, you should make more of it, not trying to do something which you are weak in. Just what you are in good practice more. Yes.
Awesome. You know, let me share a story too, because I was just thinking as you were talking that, yeah, you hear about jobs and they go, oh, this is a great job, right? Oh, everybody should do this job. Because, we need these people. Well, let me tell you what happened to me when I was in university. I already told you how I ended up in education and studying to be a teacher when that wasn't really where I should have been anyway. But on top of it, not only was that not the best career fit for me, but at first, when I was in school, the first 1 and 2 years of university, they had people who would come in and they would say, listen, you're in the right career field because we need teachers. There are so many schools that don't have teachers. If you become a teacher, you're going to get a job right out of university. You're going to make a lot of money. So keep studying about teaching. So I keep doing it. Then, when I'm in my 3rd year of university, those same people were coming to the university and they said, you know what? We have too many teachers now. So you're probably not going to get a job. And you won't make hardly any money. So if you can find another career, you need to do it because there's too many teachers. Well, thanks loads. Because now I'm in my 3rd year of university. And I actually did check. I thought, you know what? I'm not liking this. And now they're telling me I won't even be able to get a job. So then I went back to the university and I said, okay, if I want to change, if I want to switch from education to something else, then, because I'd already paid a lot of money. I'm in my 3rd year, and I've got all these credits in the classes that I've taken. I said, what would I have to do to switch from this to something else? And they said, you will start all over from the beginning. And I was like, no way. No way. So, you can't even go on the basis of the country, the economy, of what they're saying. Because they'll advertise, oh, we need teachers. And then before you can even finish your training, they're saying, now we have too many teachers. Or now we need doctors, we need medical people. And then, no, we have too many, there's no jobs. So it doesn't work to even try to follow those kind of trends. There's all kinds of computer information you can get on the web of like how much does this job make and how much does this job make. And if you pick your career on the basis of that, it's not going to work because times change, the prices go up and down, and again, if it's not something you're good at, it won't work. Okay? Okay, you're dismissed, but remember next week, appointments, and you'll just bring your folders and all your papers, and we'll begin to put puzzle pieces together. Okay? Okay, bless you.